Hey Stampers, it's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. I'm so excited to be back with you this week, and we are kicking off Christmas here with Too Cool Stamping. We're going to be doing a class with the Sweetest Christmas collection and really cute candy cane images and really easy to put together cards and just surprisingly fun. So I hope you enjoyed that class. Now, before we get started, I haven't talked to you in a while. I wanted to make sure that you knew about the awesome starter kit promotion going on right now. I know many of you kind of wait and hesitate to join because you're waiting for that special promotion that you really like. And here it is. This is a good one because this one has a lot of extra bonus value to it. So here it is. $99 for the starter kit like it normally is. Usually you would get to select $125 worth of product of your choice. During this promotion only, throughout the rest of October of 2020, you are going to be able to select up to $155 worth of product. That's $30 extra to spend on any product from the catalog that you like. And in addition to that, you're going to get free shipping on that starter kit order. You're going to get a sample paper pumpkin kit. You're going to get 20% off all of your future orders with Stampin Up. And you'll be a part of the Stampin' Up family, which means you'll be a part of my Too Cool Stampers team. And there's lots of perks behind the scenes that you can participate in, lots of different ways that you can get product credit and sneak peeks. You get pre-orders and all kinds of fun stuff. And then just with my team, we have a monthly Zoom meeting that we do. We have creative presentations during that. We have challenges, prizes, lots of fun stuff going on. I do one kit a month. And the fun part is if you do like my live classes, many times I'll have my live class available as the monthly class for my team, and it's at a discounted price. So if you're part of my team, you're going to get a little bit of an extra discount on those classes. And you can, if I don't have them as our team monthly kit, you can always just request a kit and pay the price. That way you can order your own supplies at the discounted price. So there's always an option for my team members that's a little bit sweeter than just being a regular customer. So there's lots of good reasons to purchase that starter kit right now. Again, this month only, $99 is what you pay. You don't pay for shipping. That's all free. If you have tax in your state, you will pay for that. But other than that, it's just $99. You'll get to select up to $155 worth of product of anything that you like. And you also get some business, some catalogs and things like that in case you want to do a business. But remember, you don't have to do it as a business. I have so many team members. I probably have at least 90% of my team members are hobbyists that are just enjoying that discount. It's kind of like Costco. You're going to sign up. You're going to be able to enjoy that discount. So I encourage you to sign up. There's no obligation to sell. You can just enjoy that discount and have a lot of fun with it. Now, one more thing I wanted to share with you because I think that you're going to really love this upcoming promotion that's coming up. And I wanted you to know about it because it might give you some extra incentive to purchase that starter kit now. And that is, there's a brand new, let me make sure I have the name right. Yes, there's a brand new collection that's going to be coming out next month. So it starts in November for customers. It's called Fitting Florets. It's an early release of a product that's coming out in next year's mini catalog, but there's some limited time products that come along with it that are absolutely just so beautiful and really make this whole collection so much fun. So I wanted to share this with you right now because it's not available to customers, as I said, until November. But as a demonstrator, you can pre-order that right now. And if you choose to join right now with your starter kit during the month of October, you can get this collection as a part of your starter kit. So you can start ordering just like a demonstrator and take advantage of that pre-order as well. So I wanted to, when we flip the camera around and get started with the class, I wanted to share with you kind of a sneak peek of the items. I just got them today in the mail. I haven't had a chance to play with them yet, but I pre-ordered them and they're just absolutely beautiful. So we'll show you those first and then we'll get started with our class. I just think you're really going to love this collection that's coming up. And like I said, you can select that as part of your starter kit, which is just phenomenal. I love that option. So I'll remind you again about the starter kit at the end, and I'll also have all that information on my blog, toocoolstamping.com. You can check that out at any time to see all the updates on promotions and classes that I have available. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. If you're watching the replay later on, thank you so much for finding us and joining along. So let me flip the camera around, and like I said, I'm gonna share a sneak peek of that Fitting Florets collection, and then we'll get right on with our Sweetest Christmas live class. All right, so hold on. I hate this part. It's so clunky, but you just got to do what you got to do. All right. So let me get some lights here, and let me move this over a tiny bit. All right, let me show you that Fitting Florets collection like I mentioned. So it's going to start out with this beautiful stamp set called Framed Florets, and it has some really pretty floral images. It's kind of an all-occasion stamp set. It has a birthday, thank you, so lucky to call you friend, for a special person on a special day, just a little reminder that you're loved, to celebrate. Just kind of an all-occasion, really pretty set. It comes as a bundle with this really awesome, if you guys are missing the ovals, we don't have ovals right now in our catalog, but this is a really pretty oval die cut set. It has some, I don't know if you can see very well, but it has some hearts, so you could do like a Valentine's with it. And there's 2 different frames here that you can use, plus another frame. Lots of dies that come with this particular set. So this is a bundle that's going to be in the new mini catalog coming out in January. I believe it's on January 4th or 5th now. I can't remember what the date is. So, but it comes out in January, and this will be available later on. Now, everything else in this collection as an early release is limited time only, and that's why I wanted to let you know about it, because I don't know if you know or have noticed, but some things sell out really quickly, and I hate that, but that's why I let you know about everything that's happening now. So this is, let me see what it's called. It's called the Fitting Florets Designer Series paper. And the whole idea of this whole collection is that it is for, like I mentioned, a lot of different occasions. Oh, but it's also, as a limited time, going to have some products that make it very Christmassy. So it'll be perfect for the end of the year as well as all the rest of the year. So this is a stamp set that will be available in November to customers, available right now to demonstrators, and can be part of your starter kit. When you purchase your starter kit, it's called Famed and Festive, and it's all Christmas sentiment. So you can use these Christmas sentiments. It coordinates with the original framed florets and the ovals that come with that as the die. So this is a limited time, only available in, it starts in November and it lasts through January 4th, I believe, and it's limited time only while supplies last. Okay, let me show you this beautiful paper. So this paper is designed to be all occasion as well as Christmas. It has beautiful evergreen, the evening evergreen color. So here are the first 2. I'm just going to show you the front and back together here. Beautiful florals, but you could also make this kind of a wintry look because it has kind of a balmy blue color there. Evening evergreen, kind of florally. Also, you could dress it up to be Christmas as well. This is another beautiful floral. Again, the back side, soft succulent, so that's going to be beautiful for Christmas. If you dress it up with a little bit of red or pink, it really makes it a beautiful Christmas pattern. Another pretty floral, another green and blue Christmas type of a pattern. This is another blue with some berries, so you could dress that up for Christmas or use it any time of year. I just love that. And this pink is kind of, I'm not sure what pink it is, but it is a little bit lighter than a traditional red for Christmas, but just you could really dress it up that way. And then I love this last floral with balmy blue, the evening evergreen, and then the checked pattern. Wouldn't that be really, really pretty dressed up with some real red for Christmas? So those papers are part of the Fitting Florets. Let me see. Yeah, Fitting Florets Designer Series paper. And then one more thing that is a part of that collection, and that is this pack of gold swirls. So these are adhesive-backed, and I don't know if you can see very well, but they have like a swirly pattern on them. You can use your blends to add color to them if you want to. But again, this, the paper, and that holiday famed and festive, all limited time only, starting in November. You know, once it sells out, and it's gone for good. So, of course, you will be able to get the framed florets bundle in the mini catalog. So that will be available later, but these other items are just a limited time. So I always like to tell people, get them early. And if you can get them with your starter kit, which you can order that right away and make sure you have it in your hands. I will tell you that it is $97.50 for all of the products together. And so you'll have still more than $55 to spend in addition to that collection if you wanted to order that as part of your starter kit. So look for more information. I'll have more information tomorrow on my blog, toocoolstamping.com. So look for that information there. Or you can go there right now if you're ready to join, and then there's a join now button. There's also you can learn about more of the benefits of joining my team by clicking the link on the sidebar. So check that out, toocoolstamping.com. Okay, let's see what we're going to be working with today with the Sweetest Christmas collection. And I absolutely love this collection. It's so traditional. It's so, it's just a delightful bunch of patterns that all have to do with candy canes, and they're just super, super cute. So let's start out with the Sweet Candy Canes stamp set and bundle. This is called the Candy Canes Dies. So you have the two different candy canes, one in each direction to make it easy to design with. There's lots of fun sentiments for the holidays and a little bit of greenery here that you can dress up your candy canes. There's also the Candy Canes Dies, and that's going to come with a die for each of the directions of the candy canes, two different dies that will cut out that one greenery piece, this cute little tag that has two holes in it, I'll show you that in a minute, and then a background die that we will be using on one of our cards to make a candy cane striped background. So that's really cool. Now I wanted to point out, I did not feature all of the items in this whole collection, but I wanted to show you. Let me get my Fitting Florets out of the way. If you look on page 8 and 9, right at the beginning of the mini catalog, that's where the Sweetest Christmas Suite starts, and you can see lots of pretty examples there. And then we'll look at all of the different pieces there, but there's two different stamp sets in this collection. The one that we just talked about, the Sweet Candy Canes, and then on this next page is Christmas banners. And so if you want some really cool sentiments to go along with your candy canes, it just really dresses it up nicely. Has a lot of extra greenery and berries that you can add to really make a beautiful collage. You can see some of the samples here that they've done that. I did not feature that in this particular class because I didn't want to overwhelm you and make you have to purchase two different stamp sets in order to do the class. So we're just going to focus on the Sweet Candy Canes, and if you want to upgrade and add some of your own sentiments and beautiful banners and some extra greenery, you can do that. And that's all available on page 11, or you can just go online. If you go to toocoolstamping.com and click on the Shop Now link, that will help you get to my online store. Okay, now we also have the beautiful paper, the Sweetest Christmas paper. As you can see, lots of different candy cane style designs. It has Sweet Sorbet, Real Red, Pool Party, and Garden Green as the main colors. and lots of different ways that the stripes are put together. So you can make lots of different candy canes with your die cuts. Also, on the backs, there's a lot of coordinating patterns that look really great for backgrounds. You have this really pretty multicolored candy cane small pattern, the garden green pattern, another candy cane pattern with just the reds. This is a sweet sorbet, kind of a checked pattern, and a real red polka dot pattern. And then this one I love because this one has candy canes of all different colors and different kinds of stripes, and you can use them with your dies. So you can cut those out and then cut them apart and then use your die to cut them out. So you can make all kinds of candy canes with this, and there's some going in each direction. So you can use both of your dies with that. So I love when they coordinate and have the paper have some automatic cutouts. So you don't even have to do any coloring on your own. You can just do cutouts there. So that is the Sweetest Christmas paper. I love it so much. A few other things from this collection. We have I can't remember the name of it. Let me look real quick. It's kind of a generic name. So they're the Adhesive-Backed seasonal sequins. So you'll have gold, white. This is kind of a sweet sorbet. It also coordinates with real red. And they call this garden green. I don't know. It does kind of go with garden green, to be honest. Sorry, I don't know if it's showing up very well in the camera. To be honest, it's kind of more of a shaded spruce type of a green, but they are so beautiful and they're adhesive backed, so they're very easy to use. So these are the Adhesive-Backed seasonal sequins. Then we also have a combo pack of ribbon. I love this ribbon. It is let's see. It doesn't say what kind of ribbon it is, but I would call it kind of a linen, and it's in real red and garden green, the traditional red and green. So easy to tie. It's really, it's soft, and you'll just find it really easy to work with. So that's available as a product. Also in this collection is the red and white glimmer sheets. So you'll get 4 each of the 6x6 in real red as well as white. So that's going to be a lot of different papers that you can use not only with this collection, but any of your holiday collections that you want to choose. This is great, obviously, for snow. Just really makes a great background or accent piece. You could even use the die cuts in your candy canes to make some glittery candy canes that way. And then last but not least, this is not from the collection per se, but this is the trying to think of what it's called. Whimsical Woodland, I think. And I don't think you can see it very well. Okay, well that's a bust, but I'll show it to you because we're using it on a card. It's not officially in the collection, but it's a great product that is easily missed. Let me show you real quick in the catalog because I don't know, sometimes I miss things because they're up in the pictures. So this is right here. It's on page 39, and it's just kind of tucked away in the picture here. I didn't even know this was a folder that was available until I saw it used, and I was like, where is that? So this is the Whimsical Woodland folder. And then another one that I missed was the flat Jingle Bell trinkets. And although we're not using those on the cards, I wanted to show you, since it was using a lot of these products, my assistant Peggy created these cute little treats for our team meeting coming up on Monday. And they use the Sweetest Christmas paper, and they use that little tag that I showed you in the die set. This tag has 2 different circles, so you can thread your candy cane through the top and bottom of the tag. And then she added a little, I guess it's from Stylish Shapes, I believe it's called. I'm having a total blank. And then she put that flat Jingle Bell embellishment on there with some of that garden green ribbon. Super cute. I love that this can just be a table favor. If you wanted to put a little ribbon on it, you could hang it from a tree as a little ornament. Just kind of a fun thing to put in a stocking. Really, really cute. So I thank Peggy for making that for our team. So, so adorable. Okay, that's enough about all the products. Let's start using the products. I'll show you what we're doing for our class. Let's start out with our first card. And we're going to start out with Garden Green. And it's a traditional size, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We'll fold that in half and use our bone folder to make a nice crease. Then we have, it looks like this isn't cut to the right size. So this is supposed to be a 5, let me see. It's supposed to be 5 by 3 3/4. Let me cut this down a little bit because this is 5 1/4. So I'm just going to cut this down. I apologize that is cut wrong. But this is a piece of the Sweetest Christmas 5 by 3 3/4, and it's going to fit on a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 piece of Evening Evergreen. We're going to use some seal adhesive to attach that. And next we're going to add a piece of the Real Red Glimmer paper. And this is a 5 by 1 inch piece. We'll add that right across the background here. And then add that to our garden green card base. All right, now let's do some stamping. Here's just a scrap of basic white, and we're going to stamp with Real Red. And we're going to do one of each candy cane, one going one way and one going another way. So there's one. And another. And then I'm going to use those candy cane dies to cut those out. If you don't have the dies, that's okay. It's a pretty easy shape to cut out. So here are 2 different candy canes. I also punched out I used the sprig punch. If you remember what that is, it has a little sprig that looks like this, and another little one that has kind of little flowers on the end of it. We're not using that one, we're just using this greenery. I love the idea of a little bit more greenery than what came in the stamp set. We're going to use this as well, but and as I mentioned, the other stamp set that comes in the collection does have more greenery, so you can do more layering if you like that. But this is kind of a little cheat that we're doing with the sprig punch to add a little bit more to it that way. So I'm going to add these little sprigs. This is an Evening Evergreen. Couple dots there of multi-purpose glue. And just going to kind of make a little base here for our candy canes. And then I'm going to adhere those with some seal. If you wanted to, you could pop them up. Let me get that a little bit down, just a little bit. There we go. I wanted to make it a little bit more even top to bottom. And then I'm just crisscrossing them. And then we'll add a sentiment with that. I have just a strip here of Pool Party. It is about 3¼ inches by 3/4 inches. And I'm going to use the Merry and Bright sentiment with some Evening Evergreen ink. I love this, just this little pop of Pool Party. And before we add that, I'm going to do a little banner cut. So I'll go up the center and then corner to center. Make a little banner. Up the center, corner to center. And then we'll use some dimensionals to pop that up. Put that right over the top here. I love that pop of Pool Party. And then I have that real red ribbon from the combo pack. I'm going to add that with a glue dot. So I just tied it in a bow. And I do tie all of your bows in your class kit, so you don't have to worry about tying that. And I'm going to put the bow up here. And we'll finish it off with some of those sequins that we talked about. And here are the white ones. They're adhesive-backed, so they go on so nicely. I'm going to put one up here, two up here, and then one down at the bottom. And there you go. There's the first card. Really simple, so adorable. I want to show you, I had done another one, just a little different. I had my my greenery is just a little bit farther apart, so I could make the X of the candy canes a little bit wider. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I have this one in real red, and these are stamped in cherry cobbler, so a little bit darker. And then I put that bow underneath. So either way, you can kind of see the difference. That's not my too cool version though. You know I like to do too cool examples. This is the other example. And this time I started with real red. I used the designer series paper layered on cherry cobbler, the same real red glimmer paper. I used garden green for the greenery, and then the candy canes are actually from the designer series paper like I showed you, just cut right out of the paper with the dies, and everything else is the same. So those are two cool versions. You'll get all the parts and pieces for this one in your kit. Remember, I don't do the die cutting for anything that's stamped and die cut. So something like the candy canes, you're going to do the stamping. I'll just give you a piece of white paper for that, and then you'll need to either die cut or hand cut those out for yourself. But that is the first card. All right, let's check out the second card. This one we're going to start with basic white, and we start with a thick basic white. That's a little bit sturdier than the regular. Traditional 5.5 by 8.5, and scored at 4.25. This time I talked to you about the Whimsical Woodland embossing folder. Hopefully you can see this. It has trees. Can you see that? It's so hard to see, but it has Christmas trees, kind of a whole forest of whimsical Christmas trees. I just love how that looks. So that is going to be layered on top, and this is a 4 by 5.25 inch piece that's embossed. I am going to put it on this side. There we go. I'm going to dress it up on the side with a little bit of white glittered organdy ribbon. It's so wintry looking with that iridescent glitter embedded in the ribbon. We'll just put one strip around and tie it in a double knot. And then we'll trim it up. Whoops. All trim that up, and then I'm gonna move it to the top. There we go. Ooh, doesn't that make it look nice and wintry already? All right, next up, I took some of the white Glimmer paper. So this kind of goes with the sparkle of the white ribbon. And this is gonna be our background. I'll go ahead and put that down. Kind of the background to where our focal point is going to be. Next, I'm gonna add a couple more of those sprig punches. This time they are in Shaded Spruce. My little cheat for greenery, the sprig punch. And you can always, I love that when they are punched out, you really can't tell what's the back and what's the front. So you can have them going in different directions if you want to. So I love that. So let's just add those to the background. And we'll let that dry. And then we're going to stamp a few of the greenery that comes with the stamp set. This time we're going to stamp in Mint Macaron. And we're going to do 3 of those. And I've already cut those out with the dies, the candy cane dies, so those are ready to go now. And then let's do our candy cane. I need to clean the candy cane that we're going to use, so let's see. It's going to be this one. So I have my well-loved Simply Chamois. So we'll clean it up with that. I love those chamois. They're so easy to use and they do a great job of cleaning. So this time, instead of just stamping, we're going to do a technique that's kind of an old school technique, but I love it still, and that's using the Stampin' Right markers. So I have a real red marker and a shaded spruce marker. And I'm just going to do back and forth. I'm using the brush tip end, and I'm going to just paint on it. You don't want to like jam the nib down onto it, but you just kind of paint it on like a paintbrush. And I'm going to do every other stripe right on the rubber. If you've been with Stampin' Up, you know that this was such a popular technique back in the day, and we kind of got away from it a little bit. So this is Shaded Spruce, so the other ones I'm coloring in with that. I love this technique as a way to get multiple colors on one image in a really easy way. All right, so we have the whole stamp colored in with the 2 colors. Now you want to make sure that you huff on it just to add a little bit of moisture to it. And then we're going to stamp. And you can see that it has that beautiful dual color candy cane. I've already die cut one out, so I have that one ready to go. So that's going to go right here on my piece. So let's put that on there with some dimensionals. And the thing I love about this particular card, since it has the white background, you can use any color of markers. You want to make sure that you're using Stampin' Right water-based markers on the rubber. This is not a technique that you can do with the Stampin' Blends, the alcohol markers. Those are kind of like Sharpies. They're not going to transfer the ink the same way. So they have to be the Stampin' Right markers or any kind of a water-based marker. Now all these other little pieces of greenery here, we're just going to put 1 dimensional on the back. And then we'll have a couple coming out here. Let's put a sentiment on here before we finish it up totally. My sentiment, I have a little Stylish Shapes white circle already die cut there. I'm going to use Real Red ink and this cute little sentiment, Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. Fits perfectly in there. And we'll pop that up and put that right here. So let me put a couple of dimensionals on here. We got lots of dimensionals going on in this one. And we'll finish up with this last little piece of greenery. Let's see, maybe coming out this direction. It always looks good no matter what. All right, and we'll finish up. We got to have a little bit of bling on there, right? These are some red rhinestones. And I'm just going to add about 3 of them on there, just to dress it up a little bit. And there we go. Let me move this ribbon over just a tiny bit. There we go. Give it some room. So there is the card we have in our class kit. So much fun. Like I said, you can do any colors you want to use as long as they are water-based markers, not the alcohol-based Stampin' Blends. Now let me show you my Too Cool version. Very similar. I tried it on the horizontal this time. My background piece, my card base, is a Coastal Cabana. I used Pool Party for the ribbon this time. And I did Coastal Cabana and Real Red for the candy cane. I used the Shaded Spruce again for the sprigs. I used Pear Pizzazz for the smaller leaves and the same sentiment. So really, really cute. The same kind of a look. Like I said, you could just dress it up with any color that you want. I think it would look great. All right, there's our second card. Now, our third card starts with Shaded Spruce. This is not a color that is in the paper per se, in the designer series paper, but I love this color as a Christmas color, and I wanted to use it with the paper. So I have Shaded Spruce background. I have another piece here. This is basic white. It is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and that's going to go down on the card front as a little foundation. And then we have some strips of the Sweetest Christmas paper. These are all 1-inch strips that are 4.5 inches long. So, and I'm going to put the candy cane one in the middle. So let's add those. We're going to put the outside ones on in the middle. That way if we have any extra white space in between, we can kind of even it out a little bit. So we'll put these on the sides. These are both a Sweet Sorbet red, I believe. And then the last piece with the candy canes right in between. Just center that. All right, got a little extra adhesive on there. So there's our background, so easy. I love this style of card because, you know, you always have little scraps of 1 inches or, you know, just little pieces of this beautiful paper. This is a great way so that it doesn't go to waste. Make a pretty background out of it. All right, next we have a piece of basic white. This is die cut with the deckled dies. So that's this, a must-have if you like that vintage deckly look for your edges. So I use that, and then I'm going to stamp with the leaves. Let me clean that up a little bit so we can use a different color. Actually, I think we were using the same color now that I'm looking at it. Let me see. Yeah, we used Mint Macaron again. So this time, we're just going to stamp these directly on the piece there. And this time when we do our candy cane, we're going to color it up just a little bit differently. We're going to do that same Stampin' Right Whoa! Stampin' Right marker technique. I almost lost it and it would have gone right on my finished card. Okay. Just going to clean up the edges here. I love the chamois because you can pick them up and just get into the nooks and crannies if you need to. All right, so this is the same candy cane. We're going to use the same colors of markers, the Stampin' Right markers. And this time, I'm going to start with Real Red, and there's little tiny lines on each one of these stripes. I'm only showing you this because you could certainly do the every other one of the wide stripe whenever, you know, if you want to. This is a little bit more detailed and delicate, but I wanted to show you what it looked like. So if you just use, I'm doing a really poor job, but if you just use the edge of your brush tip and apply a little bit of the red, Real Red ink, just to that stripe. So I went around and I did all of the ones from this side because since I'm right-handed, and then I'm going to flip it over and do all of the ones on the other side from this side again because I'm right-handed. Just works easier for me. And then after we get the red on, we'll add the shaded spruce, same two colors that we did for the last card. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's just on the little stripes. Then we're going to use the shaded spruce only on the large parts of the stripe. It's a little trickier to color like this, obviously, but if you spend a little time doing it, then it really looks amazing. So bear with me, I'm going to show you this because I just think it's so cool. Because I'm not being very precise, just kind of putting it on there. But I want to show you what it looks like when you stamp it. It's just such a wow to me that it all comes out looking so great. Even if it's not perfect, it still looks amazing. Okay, good enough. Again, don't forget to huff on it just to bring the moisture back, and then stamp it on some scrap paper. And look how that turns out. You can see the red lines. So it's mostly shaded spruce, but then you have a little bit of red in there. And I just love that technique. I think it's so cool. So I did that already and die cut it so it's ready to go. So I have my background here. I'm going to add that directly to my striped background. Right in the center. And then next I'm going to add my candy cane on top with some dimensionals. Again, this is so fun because you can choose whatever paper scraps that you have and color the candy cane, you know, to coordinate, but it doesn't have to be red and green. It could be whatever paper that you have. So there's our candy cane. Let's add a sentiment. This time I have a little oval. This is from, it's kind of an unexpected. If you have the double oval punch, you could use that because it fits into that. But this is the oval from the All That Dies. This is the from the He's the Man. You might have remembered that as a class that we did, but I love the dies that come with that because there's lots of different label shapes that are very classic shaped, and that's what I chose. And then I'm going to use that Christmas cheer sentiment in Real Red. We're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Lots of popping up with dimensionals, you know me. We'll add that down here. And we'll finish up with a couple of little embellishments. First of all, we have, I mentioned the green that comes with the sequins, supposed to be garden green. I'll show you what that looks like with garden green. It really does. It matches garden green okay, but I love it with the shaded spruce. It's like bluer than garden green, so it still goes with it. And it's lighter than shaded spruce, but it kind of has a bluish to it. So anyway, it kind of goes with both. So I like it. We're just going to use one of the small ones, put that right above, and then we'll finish off with a little texture. I thought since it was sweet sorbet, I got out my baker's twine from the In Colors, and I made a little sweet sorbet candy cane striped bow to go with it. I thought that would be perfect. And we'll put that on with a glue dot. So just add that to your glue dot right on the paper, pinch it together to put the adhesive behind, and then add that to your candy cane. Super cute. So there we go. That is our third card. And then it's also our fourth card. I really liked the look and the ease of how that went together. And so my Too Cool version is one of the other 5 cards that go with it. So I'll give you the Sweet Sorbet card base. You get 2 of the same pieces of designer series paper, but then we also have a garden green stripe. So then we do garden green for the leaves, and then this time I did Sweet Sorbet and garden green as my stripes. The garden green are the little thin stripes that I put on first, and added that twine bow. The Christmas cheer is in garden green this time, and then I used the Sweet Sorbet sequin on that one. So I loved how that looked. I thought they were so cute. So I hopefully you really love both of those. Both of these card supplies will be in your kit. Okay, we're going to have a grand finale here with the last card. Again, it starts with another sheet of the thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, and scored at 4 1/4. And we have already die cut the Sweet Sorbet piece of paper here. When you put it through, I'm having it as a layer onto my card base, so it is going to be a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece, and that's what you want to use when you put it through the die cutting machine. You want to use that size. That way you can get a nice edge around it. So that's just going to go on with some multi-purpose glue. So it'll take just a minute here, and you don't want to use a lot, just a really thin bead. Otherwise it'll squirt out. And I'm only putting them on the thicker stripes, and then also super thin bead. Just barely touching the paper all the way around the border. Just barely touch. We'll add that to the card front. And the fun thing about these stripes, it doesn't have to be red on white. It can be white on red. You can overlap red and green. Do other colors. It would make a fun background for, other types of cards too during the holidays. If you wanted to use some blues and then maybe dress it up with some snowflakes or something from another stamp set that you have. So lots of fun. You could even die cut one piece and die cut another and flip flop them so they kind of have a crossed effect, a little kind of a lattice effect. That would be fun too. All right, I have a piece here, 5 1/4 by 2 of the Sweetest Christmas. So this paper that I did the die cut, that's Sweet Sorbet. This is real red. And that just goes right down the center. Then I have a background piece here, and I'm going to stamp our leaf. I just cleaned that off a little bit. We're going to stamp it with some soft sea foam. and I'm just gonna do some pieces here on the outer edges. Just like the other one, we're kind of layering the foliage. So again, that was soft sea foam. Oh, let me give you the, you could use the deckled rectangles if you wanted to, but I just used a 3 3/4 by 2.5 inch piece of basic white there. Okay, next, let's go ahead and layer that onto our card. Put that right in the center. And once again, I brought out that sprig punch, and we'll add a couple of sprigs. This is in Pear Pizzazz. Just a little tiny bit of that multi-purpose glue. And we're gonna have one going kind of over here. And then one up in this direction. So it just kind of layers over what you already have stamped. Then we have, I've already, just to save some time, I've already stamped in Sweet Sorbet this candy cane, as well as some Evening Evergreen. Whoops, I have adhesive on my thumb, so everything's sticking to that. I have 3 of the Evening Evergreen pieces there too. So let's start to finish up this collage. Popping the candy cane up again. And we're gonna pop those leaves up, so we'll put 1 dimensional behind each of those. All right, ready to go. Pull all the backings off. And add that. You can see that I made it, I'm kind of OCD about it, but I made it the same angle as the background. That's so silly. And then we'll put these in here. Again, let me put the sentiment on, and then we'll put that last piece on. This is from the Stylish Shapes again, a die cut banner with basic white. The other thing I really love about the stamp set, and I didn't even use all of the pieces on the outside, but it has a lot of good inside sentiments. Wishing you lots of love, joy, and happiness this Christmas season and always. May the good times of today become the cherished memories of tomorrow. And it's the most wonderful time of the year. Those are great sentiments for inside as well as outside of your card. So I'm going to stamp this one in Sweet Sorbet. And we'll add that with more dimensionals. And I'm going to put that over the edge here. So I want 1 dimensional right in the corner, and then a few more this corner. And then it's going to overlap the candy cane, so maybe just a few more here on the other end. And then we'll finish off with this last little sprig coming out this direction. Let's go like that. Just kind of tuck it underneath there. And then we want just a few red rhinestones again. I love red rhinestones with Christmas projects. They just looked so awesome. All right, so there is our last card. Again, isn't it so, it comes together so quickly. I just love how fast it all comes together. So there is our last card. Let me show you the Too Cool version that I did. A little bit different. Still in some greens and reds, but this time I put Pear Pizzazz as the striped background. I did a soft sea foam embossed background. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's the like fern, maybe? I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that has a leafy print to it. And then we have Old Olive for the punched sprig. The leaves are in mint macaron. The background leaves are in soft sea foam. And then the candy cane is in real red with Pear Pizzazz for the little stripes. Now I wanted to also mention, which I forgot to, on the one striped candy cane that we did, the little stripes, there was one little stripe on each of the broad bands. On the one that hooks to the left, you have two small stripes and then a broad band. So it's just a little bit different of a pattern. So it's not exactly the same. You can see that on, you can see it on this one, maybe a little better. You can have the two small stripes and then a large stripe all the way down the candy cane. And then this one is the small stripe, large stripe, small stripe on each of the bands. So just a little bit different, little variation. I love that. All right. Let me put out all the different cards that you get with the class kit. Now remember, I forgot to mention it earlier, but you do get that free class kit for all 5 cards. Get all the parts and pieces to make it. You add the stamps, ink, can't talk today, stamps, ink, and adhesives, and you'll be able to put those cards together. And you just need to get that free card kit. You just need to have a $40 order with me at toocoolstamping.com. Click on the Shop Now link. And this is very, very important. You need to add that host code on the checkout page. This is something that I am not able to call in and add anymore if you forget. If you do forget, I'll just have to remind you that you will need to call Stampin' Up to get it added to the order. So don't forget now. Let's get it all taken care of. Put that host code in. It lets me know which one of the class kits that you want or which offer I have available. And you definitely need to use that host code. So KA6KMGCV is what you need to add on the checkout page, and that will get you the free class kit with a $40 minimum order. All right, here are all the cards, once again, that you'll be getting supplies for in your kit. And then the last card, here we go. Such a beautiful collection, really just really fun and festive and traditional colors. Fun to kind of experiment with the different ways of decorating that candy cane and layering it with all the beautiful papers. Now, let me also, I want to mention, because right before this class, I checked the inventory. And like I mentioned when I was talking about the fitted florets collection and how that's coming out, and you never know how fast some of that limited time stuff is going to sell out. You never know how fast anything is going to sell out. Unfortunately, some of these items are sold out. The stamp set and dies, the bundle, is available. That Sweet Candy Canes stamp set and dies, that's available. The Sweetest Designer Series paper is currently sold out, not available to order. However, it is coming back on October 24th, or that's the projected date that they are estimating. So you'll still have plenty of time if you want to get that to make more of these types of cards before Christmas. So it's just a couple of weeks away, and if you want some more of that paper, just play with this kit, see if you like it, and then if you want more, you can always order that later. Also, the Adhesive-Backed sequins that we talked about that were so cool, we're using that on some of our projects here. And those are currently sold out, but they will be coming back on October 31st. So those are coming back as well. What is available, like I mentioned, the stamp set, the dies, the bundle that you can get if you buy the dies and the stamp set together. It's 10% discount as a bundle. You'll also be able to currently You can order the ribbon if you want extra ribbon. This is low on inventory, so this could sell out at any time. So if you want the ribbon, don't wait. You know, it's probably going to sell out. I don't know when that will happen. I'm sure that there will be more coming in before Christmas, but I don't know when because they don't have a date for that. They just are letting us know it's low on inventory. So it's just the way of the world, folks. And unfortunately, that's how it is. But I will say this. All you really need to complete this kit is the stamp set. If you want to get the bundle, that's great. You need inks and adhesive, but I'm going to have all of the paper, all of the die cuts done. I'm going to have the ribbon and the embellishments, everything that you need to put it together. And so you can just have fun and not have to worry about those. And if you do happen to want some paper or some of the sequins, you can get those at a later date. And then you'll qualify for my next kit, whatever that may be. So if you have any questions, you can always message me here on Facebook. And you can place that order at toocoolstamping.com. Don't forget to use that host code, and it is a minimum $40 order. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's so much fun to be doing Christmas projects with you, and I look forward to doing it again very soon. Keep a lookout on toocoolstamping.com or here on my Too Cool Stamping Facebook page to see when my next live class will be, and hopefully it will be very soon. I will talk to you later. Thanks so much. Until then, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.